But as soon as I stepped off the bike, something caught my attention. Mounted on the outer wall beside the gate was a white condolence board. It displayed Islamic funeral verses along with the words, "with deep sorrow." Below it were the funeral and burial details. I felt slightly confused. Switching off my bike's engine, I used the headlight to read the name written on the board. The moment my eyes landed on it, every ounce of strength left my body. Written in bold letters was the name, Sajid Kamal, son of Kamaluddin. According to the notice, he had passed away on November 10th. That meant he had died 3 days ago. My head began spinning. The brown envelope containing the medicine trembled violently in my hands. I tried to convince myself there had to be some misunderstanding. Maybe another man with the same name lived in this house. Maybe it was just an unbelievable coincidence. But deep inside, fear had already taken control of me, because only 5 minutes earlier, I had spoken to a man with that exact name, and he had begged me over the phone to bring him his medicine before he died. Title: The Midnight Delivery That Should Never Have Happened. I had been working with an online delivery service in Lahore for the past 2 years. In this job, meeting strange people and experiencing unusual situations is nothing new. Sometimes customers give the wrong address, sometimes you get into small arguments, and sometimes you lose your way. All of that is just part of the job. But what happened to me last month shook me to my core. After that night, I made a promise to myself that I would never work night deliveries again. It happened during last winter. After a light rainfall, the cold had become even more intense. It was around 10:30 p.m. and my shift had only 30 minutes left. I was exhausted and thinking about heading home when my phone suddenly buzzed with an urgent delivery request. It was an order from an online pharmacy. The delivery location was in an old neighbourhood filled with narrow, winding streets. Something about the order felt strange, but I convinced myself that someone might be seriously ill and urgently needed their medicine. I checked the customer's name on the app, Sajid Kamal. I started my motorcycle and picked up a brown envelope containing the medicine from the pharmacy's main warehouse. Looking at the prescription, I noticed that it contained emergency medication for a severe breathing condition. I placed the package inside my delivery bag and headed toward the drop-off location. As I continued riding, the roads became darker and quieter. The freezing wind had emptied the streets, leaving behind an eerie silence that made the entire area feel unsettling. According to the GPS, I had to enter an old residential colony filled with extremely narrow and confusing alleyways. The paths twisted in every direction, and no matter how carefully I followed the map, I couldn't find the correct route. After passing the same wall 2 or 3 times, I realised I was completely lost. I pulled my bike over and called the customer using the number provided in the app. The call was answered on the very first ring. But before anyone spoke, I heard a strange sound coming from the other end. It sounded like someone struggling to breathe. Then a heavy, weak voice spoke. It sounded like an extremely old man gasping for air after running out of breath. I said, "Mr. Sajid Kamal, I'm here with your medicine, but I can't find the correct street.